some extent. So what we're going to want to see at some point, assuming that the application moves forward, the end of Mulford Street, we want to see how you're going to treat that so that it becomes an inviting place for the public to go. Part of the river plan from many years ago had Mulford Street as a pier end, and we still want to see that go forward. I know people like to come down the water, and we want to ensure that they're going to have that ability. And you know, I know right now, I believe there might be a couple of park benches at the end. I honestly don't remember. But is it, are there? No. But certainly something should be done, and we'd like to see it, and just blow up that particular end. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
As to how that's going to be treated, so that the public will have an inviting place to walk through and to go to. So please keep that in mind as well. Anyone else from the board have any questions for this gentleman?
Sir, there was I saw over the shoulders of the members of the ARB a handout that seemed to show from sort of an angle a different dimension of the property. I don't think we have those. Do you have any extras of those? I'm going to be honest with you, I loved your presentation. I agree with all the points you made about what this is going to look like, or you're saying it's going to look like. In 3D, I'm not seeing it in 2D at all. So for me to, like, yeah, that one. Do you have some extras of those?
This was just an example.
You can take it.
Well, that's
But
not,
that's not the building.
Not what
That's the
this-
color. That's an idea of the color.
All right.
But wait,
okay,
did
okay.
you see this three-dimensional?
No, I'm seeing it just what we have here. I'm seeing just the
I
elevation.
think your package has. Does your package not have this?
We have that, yeah.
Okay, that's the only 3D one we have right now. That's a three-dimensional.
Okay, thank you. Like I said, your description was wonderful. I couldn't agree with it more. When I thought about what this should look like, I thought of all those points. I'm not seeing a lot of that in this myself. And the end, again, it's all about, my opinion is just one of many. I'm not an architect. I'm not on the ARB. And I think the end elevations are particularly odd looking. But again, that's just my, yes. It almost looks like a boat, like a cruise ship or something like that. Did you say this is Cape Cod meets Nantucket? Is that what you said?
That was our idea.
All right, that's what I'd love to see here. Again, I don't want to be, if I'm the only voice who feels this way, then I'm just going to shut up. But I'm a little disappointed in the design. And with all apologies to you, because I know you've worked hard on
Okay.
this. And again, opinions and taste, you know, they vary from person to person. But that's just mine. I'm going to see this every day, because I work across the river.
Got it.
Question for you, just looking at this theme of flood zone map. I know that on the bottom right, it shows April 6, 2018, the survey, but the FEMA flood zone data is dated September 25th, 2009. That's a little antiquated, no? FEMA flood zones? I think they've changed. I know they've changed.
Is that the latest?
Yeah, it's information that's based on the survey. The surveyor certified that as part of the survey. I
understand.
think they're what, I think some of the numbers were revised in
They've been
2012.
revised, I know.
Yeah,
So,
I'll have to look into that, but I think, I'll have to check.
is that, with base elevation, then everything changes, if that's the case?
If the FEMA numbers came up, then
I know it's going
everything gets higher.
on personal level, so I'm not sure it's changed. It changes your bottom floor.
Correct.
So we need to get that clarified?
Absolutely.
Okay, does anybody have any more questions for the architectural branch of the application?
Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at this 10-foot high drive-through,
No,
walk-through. You don't drive through it?
No,
Okay. All the driving goes around?
it's solely a walk. It's solely a
All
walk.
right. As it
I'm
stands
not
now.
sure I'm correct on that, sir.
Okay, well, it's not where I'm going anyway.
It's a walk only. Yeah.
It's not a point I'm trying to make
Okay.
there.
I just want to be
But
clear.
I just wanted, I'm looking at that, and I think from probably Grenville, which is the next street up, if you're standing on the road or on your front lawn, if you live there, and there are a few neighbors I can see here, do you think they're gonna see the water from there with that elevation change of about 20 feet? I think they're gonna see probably nothing but concrete or asphalt, probably from where they stand. A normal 5 foot, 6
Elevation
foot.
change of 20 feet, what do you mean?
Well, that street goes uphill, as you know. I mean,
Yeah, but from the entrance.
you have to be standing in that entrance in order to see the water, is where I'm going.
I think long before that, you'll be able to see through that tunnel pretty clearly. It's 32 feet wide, 10 foot high. I think you're gonna see through that long before being in front of it.
I think 1 block away or a block and a half away, you probably won't be able to see anything but.
That could be true.
Yeah. Right now, they can see right across the river, and, you know, I'm sure most of these neighbors are basically here concerned with that. I'm sure you'll hear from them after I'm done, but I just wanted to point it out that that's probably one of the projections you'll see.
I mean, the only way you're seeing the water is if you're within that 32-foot Mulford lane. If you're left or right of that, now you're being blocked by the building. So, I mean, it's a tunnel all the way down Mulford.
It's a tunnel.
The only way you're gonna see the water is if you're on Mulford within that 32 feet.
Yeah.
The rest is blocked by the building.
I think that's West Avenue, you won't be able to see the water.
Has there been any discussion about purchasing the parcel in front of Mulford Street, West Avenue, that is on the market, and waiting your parking variance?
Oh, leave that for the attorney.
I think one of the members of the board had mentioned it in one of our work sessions.
I mentioned it.
Yes, you did, Mr. Chairman. But my client is looking into it. I don't know that there's been any real progress made, but they have made some inquiries.
The house is on the market. So there's a super sale sign in front of the house.
Okay. So I haven't been personally involved in it, but my understanding is that there have been inquiries. I don't know how far along that is.
Anyone else have any
Well,
questions?
could you mention while you're there, could you discuss a little bit more about the proposed clubhouse? And sir, that appears to be an extremely dilapidated, rundown building. You certified that building is structurally sound? I can't imagine the money is gonna have to go into that. It looks like it's in pretty state of
Well, we'll be
disrepair.
refurbishing it and whatever it needs, whether it's studs or floor joists.
But I mean, there's no talk about just tearing the thing down and starting
There
over.
hasn't been, no. I mean, pile,
I
foundation.
saw it today, it looks like it's in pretty rough shape.
Well, everything above, but the infrastructure.
Will there be any on-site catering, parties, anything like that happening in that clubhouse? Or will it be only restricted to the residents' use, or the marina use?
The marina.
The marina use. So if I'm a marina tenant and I want to have a birthday party there, is it the sort of thing where people will be bringing in a lot of extra guests for a party?
Well, I don't know the answer to that. I know that it will not be available to the public for anybody outside. As far as use by the marina patrons and their guests, I think to some limited extent it will be permitted. That will be controlled by the lease with Terwilliger Bartone. Will lease that building to the marina operator.
And how big is the building? I'm sorry.
The marina building, 3,000 feet.
The size of the site.
The marina building.
I'm sorry?
It's about 1,200 square feet.
1,200 square feet, okay.
Now, while we're on that subject in terms of clubhouse and uses, the fourth story of the building where you're putting your amenities, will that offer parties for residents? What kind of use will that have?
The intent is that it'll be for the personal use of the residents. It's gonna be for, just go up to the top and watch the sunset, and, if they have guests, yes, but I don't think it's anticipated to be for any kind of larger gatherings than a few residents at a time.
Because I do think it's a misnomer to call it a three-story apartment building when in fact there's a fourth story.
That, the primary reason, and I don't know if you want to address it, but it is set in from from the edges of the building. It's not a full fourth story.
There's still occupiable
It's-
space on the fourth floor.
Yeah, there will,
So
there
it's
will,
a four-story building. Let's call it what it is, a four-story building. Because that's still gonna be visible from the street and from the river.
it's, yes.
On the rooftop, yes.
Is the rooftop seasonal or is it all year?
Well, the enclosed part will be all year, and the exterior, the patio outside.
It's gonna have a fitness center, a lounge,
Okay.
there'll even be, some management services up there, so it is a year-round, indoor year-round event. As far as the outdoor space, obviously that's weather permitted.
But it is set back, so if the mansard,
Yeah,
you would not be able to see it from
If you look at the
ground.
elevations, you can see it.
from the east, there are no windows, just walls.
Right.
And then as it goes to the west, I think it's only about 1,800 square feet, rooftop, 1,875. It's not a lot of square foot, and it's an outdoor terrace.
And it is stepped back on the
Yes.
north side.
Yes,
But the rooftop terrace area,
faces west.
but it's not gonna utilize a railing or anything like that. You're gonna utilize like a parapet wall or something like that as your barrier around the perimeter of the building?
Correct.
I mean, it's certainly an amenity you would expect to have in an upscale park. Is to have some kind of facility like that. So,
But I think I understand what you're saying, it's like somebody could walk to the edge, and they actually can't because the roof will have will have rooftop equipment on it. And it will not be a safe place to go, so there will be a barrier from the terrace to the roof that they will not be able to leave the terrace there.
I mean, it's not necessarily a safety issue because I realize you'll take care of that. It's more of what you're gonna see. I don't wanna see, you have this parapet wall up here and that's your barrier, then that's fine. If that later on, because you're doing a terrace, all of a sudden now you have a railing that surrounds the whole building, and now we're looking at a railing that,
No,
I mean, I think it makes more sense to do it with a parapet wall and
that's
the
designed with a parapet. It's 42 inches high.
You mentioned the lounge, is that just a place for people to relax and hang out, maybe watch TV, or we're talking about serving beverages or food up there, a bar, or just?
No, there's nothing like that permanently fixed up there. If somebody was going to have a small gathering and they wanted to bring in an outside firm to do that, catering firm to do that, but it's only 1,875 and half of that is the fitness. So it's not a whole lot of square footage up there to do much more than just leave your apartment and go upstairs and enjoy maybe the outside view.
I just didn't know what you meant by that.
So, and, some of it may sound like we're trying to be difficult, but we've seen so many iterations of this plan. And I live one block north of here, and I live on Amity Street, and I'm very close to the corner. And the original plan called for a lot of these things that we're asking about, like catering, like a lot more apartments, a lot more stuff. We just need to get this on the record that this plan has been scaled back, and we will not be doing these things.
Right.
Because that really does affect our quality of life. I live near the Watchell Ferry Terminal, and I have restricted parking on my street. I can't even have a party with 4 cars before I call the village to get extra permits. This is something we already live with. We want to make sure this is not worse.
I'm sorry, getting back to the clubhouse again. What is its function? What is its purpose? I mean, what are boat owners
Oh, the boat.
intended to do at the
Well,
clubhouse?
there's going to be bathrooms in there.
Okay, that makes sense, of course.
There is going to be a small pantry that somebody could do some cooking. And there's going to be a lounge area. Will that have a fixed bar in it? I believe it may for the members. But as far as my understanding, and then there's an outside stair that takes you up to a rooftop terrace, which will not have anything permanent or fixed. But my understanding is that's just for casual use. There might be some tables with umbrellas up there and chairs, but nothing much more than that.
I'm not talking about a snack bar or a little
It's not
grill or anything like
It's not
that.
going to be a restaurant.
Types of things you would expect, maybe a shower facility,
They,
vending machines
in
perhaps.
the bathrooms, in the toilet rooms, it's proposed to have a single shower for the boaters.
The main thing I was trying to get at was, you know, again, we mentioned partying, I didn't want to see this become like some mini restaurant. We've seen a lot of mini restaurants turn into big restaurants and big nightclubs, and it's happened many times. I don't mean that, again, it sounds like we're nitpicking, but we're just trying to get as many facts out to the public as we can.
So, and just to be clear, it really is going to be reserved only for marina boat owners and their guests.
So
It's
somehow
not gonna
you'll need a card entry or key or something like that to get in, or?
Yeah, we haven't figured out the access to the parking lot and how to separate the different parking areas or whether or not we want to. I did mention that the residents, each apartment will have one assigned, at least one assigned space. There may be opportunities for somebody with multiple cars to have a second designated space. We haven't worked out those details yet, but that will be part of whatever final plan is, you know, obviously before we open, we'll have to figure that out.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the way the marina, the way the docks work right now, they're locked gates, and I believe you need to know an access code to get out there. And is that, correct me if I'm wrong about that, because I had to go look at somebody's boat there once they gave me the code. So that's going to continue. In other words, there will not be open, unencumbered access to the marina by those tenants who don't have boats, for example. And something similar will be required to get into the clubhouse, I assume.
Yeah,
That makes sense?
the toilets will, yeah, I believe so, and the toilets will always be accessible to the marina, to the boaters with a separate key,
Absolutely.
and that'll be able to be closed off to the rest of the spaces. So if that's not open, they'll still have access to the bathroom.
Gotcha.
Question, Mr. Chairman?
Please.
In between the floors, what kind of sound attenuation system will you have?
Well,
Transmission
the
system?
code only requires a 50, but we generally achieve a much higher rating than that. We-
Highest is a 60.
Well, we actually layer it with rubber membranes, and we have resilient channels, which is part of the UL detail, and high-density bat insulation. But on top is where we do a little bit more than usual. We do actually we do two different style mats. One is a rubber membrane, one is a cushion, an air cushion, giving more sound attenuation.
As far as your flooring goes on the inside, what do you plan on doing for that? In between, you know, you.
I think it'll be a combination of well, there'll be some tile, yes, in the kitchen areas, and there'll be the VCT wood simulated flooring, and then possibly some carpeting in the bedrooms, but they may not, they may also get the planking, VCT planking.
What about in between the units, obviously 1-inch firewall is New York State code, do you plan on having any other separation?
Well, we generally do a little bit more than others, where we do a double wall. We don't do a shared single wall. We do a wall, an airspace, and a wall. This way, any penetrations with electrical, anything, doesn't automatically translate to the other unit. So we create a barrier between the two units.
Approximately how?
Well,
Curious.
2 inches in between the walls, you know, so 2 by 4, 2 inches, 2 by 4, insulated in both walls, 5/8, and that also achieves a very high UL rating.
So it's sprinkled anyway.
Yes.
Where's your sprinkler rooms? I'm sorry, where's the sprinkler?
In the ceiling, they'll all be in the ceilings. All the heads will be in the
But I
ceiling.
mean, the unit, the valves, are they going to be raised off is it going to be on the main level, or is that going to be that sprinkler room going
Oh, the
to be
sprinkler
on the
room?
first floor? Where you
There'll be a
have-
closet for it.
I
There'll be a
understand that,
sprinkler
but
closet.
On the ground floor, or on the main first floor?
It'll be on the main first floor.
Okay, so it won't be on the ground level?
Correct.
Just for your own.
No, I understand the potential.
Any other questions for the architect?
Are you going for any energy certification, LEED, anything like that?
No, we're not. It will meet New York State Energy Code, though,
Of course, sure.
which is pretty restrictive in itself.
Is there any intention to pursue IDA funding for this project?
I'll leave that to the attorney.
Yes, we will be discussing this project with the Suffolk County IDA. We don't know what those benefits will be, but it'll be the traditional mortgage recording tax and a sales tax exemption and then a pilot for the taxes.
Pilot for the school taxes, town taxes.
Yes, and that's going to be a matter of negotiation with the IDA with notice to the various taxing districts.
We will get more into the site plan review, things like elevator size and things that are near and dear to me, because obviously as we bring population into it, we obviously have need for services for the building, as well as some other site plan issues, when and if the time comes for this board to take that up. But any other general questions for the architecture right now?
I have one last question. The existing gravel right-of-way to the north obviously being maintained and kept open, I'm assuming? There's not going to be gate or like that for that, or?
Where was that?
The existing right-of-way, which is now gravel or bluestone, that goes to the north,
Yeah.
Perry's upholstery and various places like that, that's going to be kept open?
We'll repave all the way up to
Your property
to
line?
the property line,
Okay.
and everything else will stay open.
But it's obviously open, so
It'll
gates.
stay wide, yeah, nothing, no obstruction.
I know there's a lot of businesses down there.
Right, we had originally put some parking on there, we even removed that to make sure that it was,
Right away.
yeah, it's right away.
Okay. Anyone else?
Just,
Okay, Rich.
you mentioned mechanical equipment on the roof. Would all of that be concealed by that 42-inch parapet wall going around, or will we see mechanical equipment from the outside?
There's not going to be a whole lot up there, only because it would just be for the common areas. Each unit gets its own utility, but there will be condensing units on the roof. But we have a 3.5-foot high mansard parapet roof that goes all the way around. So because of the height of the building and the plane that you would be looking at it from the ground or even from the second story, you'd never see any of
So
it.
if you put them in the middle, there's not going to be a
You'd
sight
never
line,
see-
even if they got to sit on rails and sit up a little higher, you're not going to see these units from the road.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.